What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the MaxCap Podcast here on the YouTube channel. Appreciate y'all watching. Remember, everybody, if you like me, if you like my content, do me a favor, like and subscribe. Maybe even share my channel a little bit. We really appreciate that. I'm MaxCap. Yours truly. It's Tuesday, March 15th, and we are only 2 days away from the NCAA Tournament. And I'm excited for it. I'm sure a lot of you guys are excited for it. Whether you are a degenerate gambler or just somebody who fills out their office pool bracket, I just want to say I got you covered. That being said, I'm giving you free game. Doesn't mean it's all going to be good game. So it's up to you to make your own decisions financially. Who to bet on, what to bet on, when to take my picks, when to not take my picks. I'm not here to tell you on the best, but I am here to just kind of, share my knowledge with y'all. And quite frankly, I've watched a little bit of college basketball, I guess you could say, this season. And I feel pretty comfortable, just kind of walking y'all through it. So before I bring on my guest, and we've got a great guest here on the show today, I want to talk about a couple of things. The first thing is where I was wrong and where I was right. So where I was wrong on Saturday, I said Duke would not lose to Virginia Tech, and that bad, no bueno. Where I was right, I did tell you guys that my boy Roman Feraldo was going to knock this you-know-what out, and I said don't blink because it would happen quickly. Sure enough, the whole crew was there, downtown Fort Lauderdale, repping Roman. It took only 44 seconds for him to absolutely destroy that guy's life and possibly career. So shout out to Roman. You're my guy. You're holding it down. Keep on pushing. My dude, you are a star. Where I was also right, I did say that St. Peter's would win their conference tournament and would be playing in the NCAA tournament. And sure enough, they are. They did win on Saturday. And I think they're catching about 18 points against Kentucky on Thursday or Friday. Woof, woof, woof. I think the dogs might be barking there. Watch St. Peter's. I think they might be able to hang around. So that's just a little recap from what I dropped over on the weekend. Really excited about this week. So we've got my boy J Pina coming in. I'm gonna tap him in just a minute. Tomorrow I'll be actually filling out my bracket for you all on this channel. So just give you an insight into like how I handicap the games, how I pick the brackets, and my strategy around that. And look out for that video. I think it'll be pretty cool and insightful for some of you who are looking to fill out a bracket, maybe for work or just for fun. And yeah, you could see how I do it. So that'll happen tomorrow, just the night before the tournament. And without further ado, gonna bring my guy J Pina in. It only makes sense that we bring in my old college roommate, my old college teammate, to talk a little March Madness. JP, how we doing?
My guy. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me. It all started, we were in 509 filling out our brackets, almost 10, 12 years ago. So it's good to be back. Love what you're doing, man. I've seen the progress. I've seen you develop this, and it's beautiful to see, man. Like you said, it's free game.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate it, man. It's free game. You are now, a second-time guest here on the channel, and that's for good reason. You know your stuff. You're a big basketball fan, coaching experience, playing experience, really a basketball family.
Yeah,
you come from a basketball family, right?
Yep, I do. I mean, it's in my blood. My brother coaches, I coach, and listen, if you're a basketball guy, this is the best week of your life.
I hope you got PTO. You submit that PTO this weekend. Come on, guys.
I'm out of there at 11:30 on Thursday and Friday, man. Yeah, sorry, man. Kids. No can do this week.
Yep.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful time. I mean, Champs Week was great last week. I thought we saw some really good games. We saw some upsets. So everything just kind of shaping up for what these next 3 weeks are going to look like.
Exactly.
It was funny. I was actually just watching the first play-in game, and all I could think of is that last commercial at the end. When it's they show all the clips, and it's just March Madness is just beautiful. And it's my favorite sporting
moment,
event.
Right?
One shining
moment. That's
it's the
like
Super Bowl and March Madness, man. That they're 1A and 1B to me.
This is my time. I love it. basketball is the best, and then you get all this you get all this drama every single game. I think it started a little bit over the weekend or last week with some of the conference tournament games. But we should have we should have a great tournament because, from my opinion, at least, I have no idea who the best 3 or 4 teams in the country are. It's really tough to call.
And I don't think they know who the best team in the country is.
I think there's teams that think they know that they're the best team in the country, but I mean, we're gonna see some crazy shit this time.
And we'll talk about it later. But usually, I have 1 or 2 winners, 3 winners that all different brackets. Just give myself a chance. I filled out my 5th bracket today, and I end up with 1 team
every time.
I can't steer away from it.
So you're 5 brackets in, then you're ready for this podcast, man. You're ready to go.
It's not like me though. I usually get 2 different winners. But I think these guys got it.
Okay, so we'll talk about who that is in a minute. A little tease there.
Yep.
I'll be honest. I've looked at some of the games, but I haven't looked at the full bracket yet and filled out my bracket. And I'm saving that for tomorrow. It's going to be raw, uncut. It's going to be me diving in. But that being said, I've got an idea, right, of who I like. And, especially when it comes to like handicapping and actually placing bets on games, let's take it one weekend at a time. Let's take it one round at a time. Let's take it one game at a time.
One game, man. 15.
Yeah.
15 is all I'm looking at.
Well, hey, I mean, that's a perfect segue. So I want to, before we jump into some of these games on Thursday, I really wanted to ask you, what are like some of the, like you said, you filled out 5 brackets today. Like, what are some of your strategies when you fill out the brackets? I know you just mentioned like maybe diversifying your winners. Or maybe like sometimes people just do stupid stuff, like they like the colors of the jerseys. Like, what's the craziest thing you've seen, and like, what do you like to do?
So I have my favorites, my hometown favorites, the teams that I've been following all year for whatever reason. That I like to see them make a little run, and then there's always going to be that Cinderella team. So you got to really think like who's on upset watch, who's on upset alert. I think there's some teams that struggled in their conference championships that are going to make a little run. I think there are teams that maybe made a little run that they might be an early exit. One in particular, like Miami. I think they can win a few games in this tournament.
Interesting.
But I think Jim Larinaga has those guys playing hard. It's the madness though. So as far as the strategy goes, again, it's easy to pick the top seed. It's easy to try to, but you can't overthink these games.
Mm-hmm.
You can't overthink it. That's one thing that, it's the 8-9 matchups are tough. A lot of the 6-11 matchups, I know you haven't really fully.
And the 5-12s. The 5-12s are always the 5-12s and the 6-11s and the 7-10s. I mean, they're all just as much a coin flip as like the 8-9 games. Usually, it's very close if you look at the numbers.
And there are a lot of 11 seeds that I like, so it's a flip of a coin. And, I think the committee does a good job of really placing these teams accordingly. There are a few opening round games that I'm like, damn, what do I do?
Yeah. Well, we've got our screen shared here. We got the bracket pulled up, just kind of overlaid behind us here. And I mean, to your point, there are some extremely interesting matchups. I'm not going to ask you your winner yet.
Yep.
But I would love to ask you, what is one winner on Thursday? Who's a team that's, and you can't give me a 1 or a 2 seed, right?
Nope. I'm going
to, because I know there's one game that I have circled, and it's one of the first games of the tournament.
I think we might be on the same page. I think Juwan Howard and his guys owe him a much better performance. I think they start this tournament off with that first 11 seed knocking off a 6.
They're definitely a prime candidate for it. I mean, to think that a team like Michigan is the 11 seed. I mean,
and I think and this time of year is all about playing inspired. Juwan's first game back, they laid an egg. They weren't supposed to be an early bounce in the Big Ten tournament. So I think they're a little fired up for him. I think that the first game of the tournament, you set the tone.
Yep.
12-15 tip off. Everybody else is watching.
Yep.
So that's I think we start right there.
What time do they play? Do you know?
12:15.
12. That's the first tip.
First tip.
You know, Presidente Dave Portnoy is going to be watching that one.
Of course he is. That's my guy.
I don't know who's not going to be watching that one. I mean, if you aren't watching at 12:15, if you don't have the damn game on, you ain't a basketball fan. That's for sure.
No, I mean, again, you can watch. You got 3 games within the first hour and a half of your day.
Yep.
It's again a beautiful.
I'm watching 2 12 seeds play right now in the play-in game. You got Indiana and Wyoming playing.
How's that going?
It's 2-0 Indiana, but I think Indiana is going to win.
I think they should win. They've been playing really well. As great basketball.
The point guard and big man and Mike Woodson's got them playing well. I'll say this though, Wyoming can play. They're normally a team I only take at home because they're very, very good at home. But Wyoming can play, so this will be a good one in itself.
And realistically, though, Indiana had a shot at winning the other day. They should have won that basketball game.
Oh yeah, they should have beat Purdue.
They were up what, 9?
Yeah, and that's a team that can win the whole thing. By the way, Purdue can win the whole thing.
Again, we'll get more to that Final Four, but that's one of my teams. That's one of those.
They really haven't skipped a beat all year. They've been very good. They've got NBA guys on the squad.
The one time they skipped a beat,
was it on you?
Michigan State, they skipped it right on me.
Oh, and Michigan State won that game, right?
Michigan at the buzzer.
Oh man,
backup point guard hit a 3, but you know what? We live to fight another day.
So you like the first game of the tournament? You like Indiana to win that game?
Michigan to win that game?
Michigan to win that game. What's the spread in that game? Let's take a look. I got it right here.
Okay.
In Michigan is -2.5. Colorado State can play too. Just so you know, they can play. You think they're giving away free money on Michigan money line here
on game 1
with all those Michigan alumni? You think it's just just -135, -140? Take it.
I'm going the road of what are you playing for? Your coach was defending you guys. Got 5 games. Comes back. You laid an egg.
This game is interesting because usually you have the opposite. Usually you have like the Michigan is the 6 seed, Colorado State's the 11 seed. Colorado State's 25-5. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a good basketball team, no matter what conference you were playing in, to be 25-5. They've got a real good big man too, who can really play.
And if you're Colorado State, this is a prime opportunity for you as well.
Yeah.
Biggest stage of the tournament.
Yeah.
You got opening round against a Big Ten team.
That one's a little sketchy to me. As I feel like you wavered a little bit from the initial conversation to where we just ended. I never really gave anything away. I don't know. That one's a little sketchy to me. I'll tell you the one that we're not on the same page. My game was Providence. Get the fuck out of here. Just get out of here. You're gonna tell me that the Big East was very, very good this year. Very good. I watched so many Big East games from top to bottom. Teams were really good. There's a couple of good Big East teams that didn't make it in. Providence dominated. They're 25-5 in the Big East. I only watched South Dakota State play one time, but I really don't give a shit. I think Ed Cooley gets it done, man. And they're laying 2 points, which, again, very sketchy.
That's scary. A
4-13 game?
So when you asked me about my tendencies, I have my favorites. Providence is at the top of my.
I thought, yeah.
There's a lot of my teams play on Thursday, but I didn't realize it was at 2, which that scares me a little bit because what do they know that we don't?
That makes no sense to me.
And again, Providence, you just got your ass kicked.
They had one stinker. They had one stinker all year though, and here's what I say to this: if the spread is 2 points. Do you know what Providence record is in close games this year?
I believe 10-1.
It's something crazy. I think it's even more than that. Like
it's either 10-1 or 11-1 in games decided by 5 points or less.
It's like a 90%. So if you're sitting here telling me it's gonna be a close game, I've watched them play close game after close game after close game. I believe in them. They've got a juice, a swagger. I like them to win. That's my favorite game of the day, and I hope I don't regret that.
Bright and early too.
Yeah, I hope I don't regret it.
But Ed Cooley did say that after they beat, I think it was in the semifinals of the Big East. He said, "Sometimes you just got to get lucky."
Yeah.
They get lucky in those close games.
Yeah.
But they find a way to pull it out. They keep playing. They keep defending. The two guards are tough. I love the big man.
Yep.
The biggest. He's just
Watson
a
and the
force.
guards,
Watson.
Bynum, and yeah. They're both
Yep.
they're both the lefty.
Tough.
Yeah.
Then the lefty, he's athletic. He can defend. They just play hard. They play hard. And my cousin Bryson Goodines on the team. You know
shit, I didn't know that. Wow.
From New Bedford, yeah, family member, yeah.
Well, we're going with him.
Yeah,
we're going with him. So I know that's a game I'll be taking. I know Providence. I'll pick to advance. Some of these other games I'm really not too into. Memphis, Boise State, I haven't really looked at. Norfolk State and Baylor, not really into. 3-4.
One that
what's that?
I'll say one that sticks out to me. The 3-14 game. I think we Tennessee will run that. But the Iowa Richmond matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two teams that I've been on Iowa for a while now. I've liked them for a couple of years now.
They've been rolling.
Yeah, Richmond though, they're tough. They're gritty. I don't know if you watched their conference tournament. They just battled. They battled. They got Dayton up out of there.
We're talking about the Spiders here.
The Spiders. They're tough, man. They're ferocious. And if Iowa struggles to score like they did earlier in that semifinal game, they could be in for a battle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if Bohannon's not going, but I like the two brothers for Iowa too.
Oh yeah, the Murray twins. They can both play. Bohannon can play. I mean, they're just playing really, really well. They deserved to do what they did and crown themselves in the Big Ten. One thing I notice here is the spread opened at 9.5. Now it's at 10.5. So. That's a lot of points to lay in a tournament game.
In a tournament game, yeah. And that's why I'll stay away from it.
That's a lot of points to lay in a tournament game. I mean, I'm not really into that. I think Carolina's going to beat Marquette. I hate to say it.
So I was going to ask you that one. Now that was going to be my question to you. I mean, I know you're a Dookie. I know Big East basketball, man.
I'm a big fan of the Big East this year. Marquette's very capable. Shaka Smart. First year on the job, doing a great job. But I think Carolina's really grooving right now. Again, I don't want to bet on that game, but I would.
What is
3.5?
Like?
UNC minus 3.5. So they got to win by 4 in order to cover.
Yeah.
I think there's other things to play. One game I'm hearing from my sources that UConn is a sharp play. And that, and that they're gonna, take care of business. So if I look at that one in terms of line movement, and again, for people that are watching, like this is just stuff that I like to do. Yeah, matchup predictor has UConn 90% chance of winning. And then when I look at this, let's see, it opened at 6.5, went to 7, back to 6.5. We're going to neutral sites, man. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, you really, really don't. Again, I'm hearing UConn is the play, but here we are, St. Peter's. I watched these guys go to Providence earlier in the year and really give them a run for their money.
Mm-hmm.
So 18 points is a lot, and
that's a lot. That is a lot.
What happens when these high seeds come? We've seen it year in and year out. Some of the high seeds, they come out flat.
Mm-hmm.
That could be one of those games.
And I've seen Kentucky this year struggle to score. I've seen them struggle to put the ball in the basket. St. Peter's
really not that good, in my opinion. How good is Kentucky? Lose. I don't really know.
18.5. Yeah, 18.5 is a lot, especially in a tournament.
I would take the 18. Lucky number 18. And
St. Mary's is waiting on the winner of this game, right?
And they're going to have some trouble. So we'll see how that shakes out. They might have some trouble. With the winner of this game. I like Creighton, another Big East team that I like. Yep. Yeah, I think that they're more than capable of pulling off this dub. They've got a very kind of like diverse team mixed with shooters, big guys. Mm-hmm. They played really well in the Big East tournament.
And they're rolling right now.
They're underdogs in that game. So you know me, I've always said dogs will bark.
They're going to bark, especially in the tournament.
Dogs will bark. That's one that's very interesting to me. But I do want to switch over to the bracket a little bit. I mean, how complete is your bracket? Do you still use paper?
Well, just for the sake of me having here,
Okay.
But everything else is online.
So you do have paper though right now. I thought I saw a pen in your hand earlier.
Yep. We're right here.
So what do you want to run down? You want to give me like maybe like your sweet, like who do you have in the Final Four? Maybe we'll work backwards.
So yeah, we can work backwards. So I do have 3 number 1 seeds in the Final Four. The one that I don't think gets out of the Elite 8 is Baylor. And that's where I think you had mentioned earlier, Purdue. They got the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Ivey, man, that kid is tough.
Mm-hmm.
That kid is tough, man. He's, like you said, he's NBA ready. And they got the 7-footer. I mean, what do you do with him? You know? So I really do like Purdue.
You like them to go through to the Final Four? Is that what you're saying?
I like that. I got them in the Final Four along with Gonzaga, Arizona. Kansas, I'm torn on as well because I think Bill Self's done a great job, but they just, you never know which Kansas team you're gonna get. But I do have them getting past Providence and Wisconsin, to get to the Final Four. And then another team that a few other shockers maybe. I think we just talked about Kentucky. I don't have them getting to the Sweet 16.
You don't have them making it. I don't blame you for that. But I'm looking at the matchups, and I like their matchups. So
who do you have winning that 7-10 game above them?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked at it yet.
I think again. I don't think Kentucky's that good. I think they can struggle to score.
So you have I'm a San Francisco guy. My guy Eric Capel is the manager over there. I'm sorry, he was a video coordinator over there.
I like Murray State. I think that those guys get after it. They have athletes. Okay. Again, if Kentucky's not scoring, man.
So you think Cal goes home embarrassed?
He might, man. He might. Another tough one for me was actually your Dukies.
They Texas are Tech. Just killing me, man. Did they draw Texas? They drew Texas Tech.
So they're gonna end up. They should end up getting Michigan State, and then I think Texas Tech gets by Bama, and then they got Texas Tech.
I think Bama doesn't even make it past probably Rutgers. But
that was another one of those 6-11 games that,
because these are two teams. When you talk about the SEC, the ACC, the Big 10, the Big 12, and the Pac-12, I got those conferences pretty. I follow them pretty well. Rutgers is tough. Bama actually. Here's the thing about Bama: they've got great guard play, and you know how we love guards. And this is what we love, people. We love guards and coaching during the tournament and senior players, experienced players. And so that's going to be a great game. Is that game on Thursday or Friday?
That is a Friday game.
So that game on Friday is.
So my thing with Bama and their guards.
Oh, well, Rutgers actually. Wait a minute. Rutgers has to win.
Rutgers and Notre Dame play tomorrow.
Yeah,
they're tomorrow night. That's going to be a battle too.
And honestly, I think either one of those teams will give Alabama trouble.
Bama's another one of those teams, though. So again, if they're not making threes, they're not that good. Their guards are solid. They can drive and kick and create opportunities. But I watched them play against LSU last week or a week and a half ago, and it was just. I think it was a stat of they had 22 turnovers. 18 of them were steals by LSU.
So they're just straight losing the ball, throwing it around. Yeah,
it was bad. And again, it might have been
live ball turnovers. That's what they call it.
So I agree that I don't think they make a run, but Duke's going to be in trouble. Another one of my upsets was I'm a New England guy, Vermont, man. Over Arkansas.
Why was Vermont like 20-point favorites in their conference championship games? What's going on in that? What is it? The Little East or something? What are they called?
Little East. Yep.
I don't think that's what they're called, but whatever.
Did they cover?
I don't know, but they won. So you think Vermont's going to beat Arkansas? I mean, shit. It's who knows? Maybe.
Again, you're going to get one of those upsets. So it's just a matter of who is it. You know what? I just want to see get in tomorrow. Just again pay homage to where my brother used to coach, to our boy Vic Cash.
Yes,
Those
sir.
those other guys from Rhode Island, man, the Bryan Bulldogs. I want to see them get in. You know,
Wait, Bryant's in?
Bryan's in, man.
Wow.
So you didn't wait. Hold on. So you didn't watch any of that game?
No, so we watched Bryant and play BC. We went to the game. Like, what was that, in like 1992 or something?
Yeah,
At
that
this
was.
point,
So you didn't see the brawl that happened at that game
I must have
against
missed
Wagner?
it. I had a long weekend. My man Roman fought. We went out.
Okay,
We
I respect it.
we all got, you know what? It was a good time.
The Bryan Bulldogs are in, man. Can I just throw out one little thing that I don't like with the NCAA? I don't like how conference champions have to play in the play-in round.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you should be automatically in the field of 64.
Yeah.
That's just a little tidbit.
I
And how do
the
you
whole
have
playing
2-12?
game situation is interesting anyways, because some people don't believe it should exist at all. In my opinion, I don't mind that they do that, because what I see is you get in and then they seed you based on what you are. And so if you are that playing, I mean, because they're going to get, what seed are they? What seed is Bryant?
That's the 16 matchup.
Gotcha. Yeah. So,
And the 16s I'm okay with. You can have 8-16 teams. But like even like Indiana playing right now as 2 12 seeds, why am I playing to get into the 12 seed?
right.
That doesn't make sense to me.
It's weird. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
But they're the last in, I think. I don't know. I mean, because usually the 13, 14, 15, 16 seeds are like, those mid-major schools, conference championship winners. And I think that they say, hey, man, like you did enough to get in, but
you're not all the way in.
You're not all the way in. Yeah. I mean, look, you could tell your kids you played in the NCAA tournament, but we all know the truth.
You can.
So, who do you have winning the whole thing?
I have the Gonzaga winning it.
Gonzaga.
I think they've been so dominant for so long. They just continue. They have the young guy. They have Chet. My favorite on their squad though is what's my guy's name? Drew Timme.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy, man. It's hard. It's you can't not like them. How do you not like Gonzaga, man? They
I don't like them.
No. So another just to go back to the toughest matchup for me on my board is Iowa and Providence in that second round.
Okay, so second round.
That you're gonna go bottom right, Midwest, the Midwest region.
So you got Iowa beating Richmond. That is a tough game. You're absolutely right.
That one, whew.
You're absolutely right.
Because in my head, again, Bohannon, the two brothers, they can get after it. They can score the basketball. But Ed Cooley, he's gonna have those guys fired up.
I think Providence got a shit draw there. I mean, they got to go through Iowa and Kansas. That's tough. But hey, that's what happens when you don't win. If they won their tournament, they'd be the number 2 seed.
They'd be a 2 seed for sure.
For sure.
They'd probably be win over is down there, and they get but hey, it's all the chips fall, man. But yeah, back to my champ again. I just think Zaga, they've been the most consistent team, not just for this past year, but for the past few years.
Yep.
Even if they weren't winning it, they were there. They had a shot.
So that point is a big point, and I'm glad you made it because I want the people watching to see that. So I think it's really important, and this is really in any sport. If you look at the people that win chips, they usually don't win it their first time through. They usually win it after some trials and tribulations. They grow from their experience. They lose or they get close, or maybe they don't get close. Maybe they blow it as the number 1 seed. You can look at that with a lot of teams. You can look at that with, Brooklyn Nets couldn't get it done last year. You can look at that with Patrick Mahomes didn't get done the first time he should have. You just see it over and over and over in sports. And it's Phoenix Suns got to the finals, couldn't get it done. But now this year they might. And that leads me to one team that I'm very interested in. This is a team that I, like you, I diversify my winners. I pick like a winner I really, really believe will win, and I pick a couple others. So last year, Baylor was actually one of those teams, and I did do pretty well. But Illinois was another one. And I think Illinois is one of those teams, just like you mentioned, that they were really, really good last year, and I think they might have. Did they lose in the first round or the second round?
They got bounced early.
They got bounced early.
They might have been a first round exit. Honestly,
yeah, we'll have to look that one up. But they got bounced early, and now they're coming in as a 4 seed. And honestly, I think they got better over the year because they've got the 2 guards, Carbello, and the other dude who plays like Travis Best. I can't remember his name right now. Point guard Frazier is his name. Yeah. But they added a shooter who can shoot the shit out of the ball, a lefty shooter. They've still got Big Kofi in the middle. They've got a stretch 4 like and Underwood can really, he coaches them up. So if I'm looking at that bracket, and again, I haven't done my bracket yet, but you're talking about they're gonna have to beat Houston if Houston survives the 5-12 game. They get through, they beat them there. Now you're looking at Zona. You got Zona, but Zona's gonna have their hands full. Seton Hall should beat them, in my opinion. I'm not sure what the spread is on that game. Let's take a look. That's an interesting one.
You're probably not going to get that line just yet.
Oh, that's a play-in as well, huh?
Arizona,
no. It is. Seton Hall, TCU, the 8-9 game. You've got a 1-point spread in that one.
Okay, that's the game you're talking about.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. I like Seton Hall there. Arizona's going to Seton Hall's going to give them a run for their money. But I will say this about Arizona. Nobody's been talking about them. They've been the best team in the Pac-12 all year long.
Did you watch what they did Saturday night?
I didn't watch it, but I know what they did. Yeah, they took care of business.
Took care of it. And they were getting their ass kicked. They were getting handed to them for a little bit, and then they just, boom, flipped the switch. Started hooping.
That's probably because I bet on UCLA. So.
That's what. Shout out to your boy Frazier from Illinois, man. But me and him weren't on good terms the other day.
What do you? Why not?
He blew a layup to win it against Indiana.
Yeah.
You know,
they
take care of business.
No, that was Carbello who blew it. He did the Euro. The Euro, yeah, that was Carbello. He kind of looks like Lonzo Ball a little bit. But
just put the ball in the basket, man.
That kid's electric. But he's like always smiling. And there's a famous man, John Preziosa, that once looked at me in the face, my head coach, and he said, "We got guys smiling, smirking when they come out the bench." And
they're lying to you.
Shout out to him, but I feel him. Like Carbello's like smiling and shit. I'm like, dude, I got money on this game, bro. I got money on this game, man. Go get this dub.
I back to that South region though. Big East guy for me. I'm a big East guy. Yeah. Can Villanova get to that Final Four?
Villanova's very, very good. Low key, but also not low key because they're Villanova.
They're supposed to be there. They're supposed to be good.
I'll tell you what, though. If I put that team up next to Tennessee, I think Tennessee's a better team.
Yeah. That's going to be a good battle if we can see that in the Sweet 16.
You know, but there's the thing. We can know everything that we know. We don't know what's going to happen.
throw these away.
Remember what we said at the beginning. At least one round at a time. More often one game at a time.
One game at a time, man.
You know, but
Gonzaga might lose to Georgia State and then just forget about it.
Yeah, just write it all off, you know. So that's why I like to diversify my winners a little bit. I'll pick if I do 3 or 4 brackets, like I'll pick very similar brackets, but there will be a game or two that's different that totally changes the winner. Yeah. You know, that's my strategy because I believe that I'm good enough to get the first round, the second round, and some of those games correct. Most of those games correct than most people. So I believe I'm gonna kind of double down on my opinion of those games. And then once you get to the Elite Eight, the Sweet, they're coin flips anyways. Yeah. You just got to hope that your team wins or like the person that has another team, you hope that their team loses.
And that's really what, you know. And that's part of me why there's going to be a couple of brackets that I don't take Gonzaga because I think a lot of folks in my pools are going to have Gonzaga.
Correct. There's going to be a lot. I've talked to a few people that already have them, and
yeah,
they haven't been tested this year. So I don't know, man. We'll see, but
we'll see.
But we'll see. I mean, here's the bracket, everybody. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be posting my video where I'm actually just going to do my research, fill out my bracket. It's free game for you guys. My guy, J Pina, I appreciate you coming on. Any last words? Anything else you want to throw out there before we?
No, man. I appreciate you having me. This is fun, man. I would like to see what the review is after the first weekend.
Yeah, man.
Where your bracket stands. I'd love to hear from you.
If you got some magic in you this weekend, we would love to have you back on next week. We'll see how your stuff goes. Send in a screenshot of your bracket. I'll follow along.
I will.
And we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I think I'm due for a big week. You know, the past couple weeks have been a little rocky for me. I'm not gonna lie. So I think I'm ready.
It's part of the journey. It's part of the journey, man.
It is.
As long as you stay on the ship.
But that's J Pina. Yeah, what you got?
Gonzaga 76-72 over Arizona.
Okay, there we go. That's the final prediction.
That's
everybody who comes on the pod over the next few weeks is going to be giving me a prediction. So we've got yours, and hopefully they don't get bounced, and you don't have to make another prediction.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, my guy. Take it easy, man.
All right, have a good one.
J Pina, gotta love him. Hey, that's all we got. A little bit longer today, but definitely wanted to bring the best guest I could possibly bring on for the occasion. And J Pina dropped some knowledge for us. Hopefully you feel like I dropped some knowledge for you guys. Remember, subscribe for me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate y'all watching. This is a free game for y'all, and hopefully it turns out good. Tune in tomorrow for the bracket picking. I'm gonna drop that video as well. And subscribe, hit the Discord. Appreciate all the love. Peace out.